Imagine waking up one morning and discovering that everyone you love is keeping secrets from you. Imagine your past colliding with your present in the most uncomfortable way possible. Imagine being pushed into a freezing lake by someone desperate enough to kill you and then having the nerve to scream your name with fake concern moments later. Welcome to Port Charles, where 2 weeks of spoilers suggest that betrayal, romance, redemption, and escape are colliding so violently that almost nobody makes it through unchanged. Tracy Quartermaine is about to be stunned on 3 different fronts. Ethan Lovett is about to run for his life, and Drew Cain, the man holding power over half the city, is suddenly fighting for his breath in dark water. This is the next 2 weeks on General Hospital, and trust me when I tell you, almost nobody saw this coming. Before we get into all of this, hey everyone, I'm Anderson, and you're watching Soap Pulse. If stories like this are your thing, smash that like button, share the video with somebody who lives for daytime drama, and hit subscribe so you never miss an episode of what we are doing here. All right, let us get back into it. For decades, General Hospital has operated like a pressure cooker with no release valve. Every time you think the lid is sealed, somebody lights a match underneath it. And the next 2 weeks of summer spoilers, the ones that are set to shake Port Charles to its foundation, feel like that exact moment, the one where the whistle starts screaming and everyone has about 30 seconds to decide whether they are going to run, hide, or fight. So let us slow everything down, let us pull apart what is coming, and let us figure out why these 2 weeks in particular feel like the moment where the entire chessboard of Port Charles gets flipped over. To understand the gravity of what is about to happen, you have to understand who Tracy Quartermaine is. She is not just a wealthy matriarch. She is, in many ways, the moral compass of the Quartermaine family, the woman who has survived corporate warfare, multiple marriages, public scandals, family betrayals, and the deaths of people she genuinely loved. She has buried friends, she has buried enemies, and she has rebuilt fortunes from scratch more times than most people have changed their email passwords. So when spoilers say Tracy is completely stunned by developments at work, at Deception, and also at home on the Quartermaine estate, that language is not casual. That language is reserved for situations where the foundations of her world literally crack open. Now, understand that Deception, the cosmetics empire that has become one of the central battlegrounds of Port Charles, is the place where Sonny Corinthos now holds power because spoilers confirm he has inherited Maxie's shares. That move alone tells you that Michael is no longer a bystander in this family. He is the new kingmaker. So when spoilers suggest that Tracy is blindsided on the Deception front, you have to ask yourself, who outmaneuvered her? Was it Lucy Coe, the eternal schemer who is bringing her surrogate daughter Serena Baldwin back to town? Or is it someone closer to home, someone Tracy genuinely believed she could trust? This is the kind of storyline the show does better than almost any other on television. The moment a proud woman realizes that legacy and loyalty were never what her family promised her in the first place. And that is exactly why the Serena Baldwin return is so important. Serena is, according to spoiler materials, coming home to Port Charles to help her surrogate mother, Lucy Coe, fight the power struggle currently brewing at Deception. Actress Kelly Kruger makes her debut in the role, and the timing could not be more suspicious. Lucy has been quietly rebuilding influence for months, and now that Michael has consolidated power, Lucy needs a friend. She needs someone who knows the inside of the cosmetics world, who knows how to read a contract, who knows how to smile while drawing blood. Serena is precisely that kind of ally. And if spoilers are correct that Tracy is blindsided by Serena showing up to support Lucy, then what we are really looking at is the Drew who tried to destroy relationships, who blackmailed people, who held leverage over half of Port Charles for months. And now he has nearly drowned in front of witnesses, which means Drew is about to have a very public re-entry into the storyline. And if his recovery becomes bad for Alexis, as spoiler materials explicitly state, then we are talking about Scout, Drew's daughter. Scout, who has been staying with Willow. Scout, who Alexis Davis, his ex-wife, has been quietly sheltering from Drew's controlling behavior. So when spoilers say Tracy is stunned at home, you have to wonder whether it ties back to Drew's reappearance, to Scout's custody, or to something even darker that has not yet leaked out. And then there is the Ethan Lovett storyline, which is the one that feels like it is about to spiral out of control in a way the show has not seen in seasons. Ethan Lovett, for those who have not followed every recent thread, is the man who has been quietly building a slow-burn romance with Ava Jerome. Ava, of course, is the survivor of multiple mob wars, the woman who has been used as a pawn, who has been shot at, who has been framed, who has been publicly humiliated, and yet somehow keeps standing up. And Ethan, the mysterious newcomer with his own secrets, has been the only man in a long time capable of making Ava actually smile. So when Monday spoilers say Ava asks Ethan what he is after and then makes a confession to him, the implication is enormous. Ava does not give confessions lightly. Ava has spent years building walls around her heart. So if she is opening up to Ethan, something serious is happening. Something that, according to spoilers, brings a person from Ethan's past back into town. Someone whose appearance is shocking enough to make Ethan, a man who has been circling Ava for months, decide that he has to run. That moment, the moment where romance meets reality, where a man realizes he cannot stay and protect the woman he is falling for, is one of the most emotional beats the show has done in years. Spoilers say Ethan confides in Lulu Spencer that he is leaving town. Lulu gets huge news from Ethan, and the question every fan is asking is simple: who came back? Was it Serena Baldwin, who has her own complicated family history that intersects with the Lovett name? Was it someone tied to Ethan's past sins? Was it an enemy who holds leverage over Ava? The show's writers have been very deliberate here. They have not confirmed yet. But the language, shock, flee, unexpectedly, is the language of a true reckoning, and this is the moment where the story gets even stranger, because Ethan's exit also creates a real-world ripple. According to spoilers, actor Nathan Dean, who has been playing Ethan, has already been taken off the contract credits. That is not a small detail. That is the show telling you, in plain text, that the character is gone for now. And if Ethan's storyline is bringing a person from his past back to Port Charles, someone the fans do not yet know about, then what we are really watching is the closing chapter of Ethan's run, designed to leave the audience with closure while planting the seeds for that mystery character's eventual arc. It is a very professional move by the writing team, and one that respects the audience enough not to leave threads dangling. Let us shift gears for a moment, because the second gravitational center of these 2 weeks is the Jason Morgan return storyline. Jason Morgan has been held by the WSB, the World Security Bureau, the show's covert intelligence agency, for an undisclosed amount of time. That alone would be enough to send shockwaves through Port Charles, because Jason is not just another guy on the canvas. Jason is the man who has held the moral and tactical center of this city for decades. He is Sonny Corinthos' brother-in-law. He is Britt Westbourne's complicated partner. He is Danny Morgan's father. He is the man Carly Spencer has loved since high school. So when spoilers say Jason reunites with Britt and she slaps him in the face after he asks to talk, what that tells you is this: Britt spent weeks believing that Jason might be gone forever. She believed she would never see him again. And when he walked back through the door of General Hospital smiling, the relief hit her so hard it came out as anger. That is not melodrama. That is a real human. But the dynamic is fascinating because the people around him, Carly, Sonny, Britt, and eventually Danny, all need Jason to be okay. And Jason, as fans have learned over the years, is rarely okay. He is functioning, he is surviving, he is performing okay. But the wounds go deep, and spoilers confirm that this return leads Jason to make big life decisions, specifically to prioritize Danny over everything else. That is, in many ways, the most vulnerable thing Jason Morgan has done in years. He is choosing fatherhood over the mob. He is choosing Danny over the muscle life. And that is a storyline with massive downstream consequences, because when you pull Jason out of Sonny's orbit, the power vacuum inside the Corinthos organization becomes enormous. Which brings us to the storyline that is genuinely the most emotionally loaded of these 2 weeks: Willow Tait's escape plan. For those who need a refresher, Willow has been carrying an enormous secret for months. She shot Drew Cain. She did it, according to the long-running storyline, because Drew had leverage over her, was using that leverage to control her, was threatening her life and the lives of her children. So she shot him. And then, rather than confess and let the legal system handle it, she walked away. Drew survived, but lost mobility and speech for a long stretch. He has now started to recover. And he is talking. And the moment Drew starts talking, the moment he starts remembering, the moment he starts piecing together what happened to him, Willow's world collapses. Spoilers say Willow is asking Chase to tell the PCPD that he could not find her. She is trying to get away. She wants to grab her kids. Brennan has it all set up for her. She needs to flee before Drew exposes her. But this is where the story gets genuinely complicated, because Ezra, who is in prison and trying to cut a deal, has already given up Willow's name in an attempt to save himself. That means the PCPD already has questions about Sidwell, the man Willow is connected to. And the legal net around Willow is tightening from 2 directions simultaneously: the Sidwell connection on one side and the attempted murder of Drew on the other. So when Dante Falconeri starts asking Willow questions about Sidwell, and remember, Dante is a detective, and his partner Molly is in fact working toward prosecuting the Sidwell case because Justine cannot do it since Sidwell held her hostage, you have a situation where the investigation is closing in around Willow from multiple angles. And Justine herself, the prosecutor who has been sidelined, is growing impatient because Willow still has a place in Michael's life. According to spoilers, Justine's frustration is pushing her to take matters into her own hands, and Michael may not like what Justine does. So what you are really watching here is the slow closing jaws of a legal trap. Every confession, every witness flip, every accumulating piece of evidence is pulling Willow closer to a moment where she has to choose: does she keep running, or does she finally face what she did? And that choice gets even harder because of another thread running parallel: Nina Reeves. Nina is, in many ways, the most dangerous woman in Port Charles right now, because Nina was the one who, according to the show's long-running storyline, pushed Drew into the lake. That is not just a slip, that is not just an accident. Nina, by all narrative indicators, attempted to kill the man who had been holding leverage over her, over Willow, and over half the family. And then, in a moment of extraordinary audacity, Nina screamed Drew's name in panic as if she were desperately worried about him. She is playing the part. She is performing the role of the grieving almost daughter-in-law. She is lying to everyone around her, to Gio, who is conveniently nearby as a lifeguard, to Brooklyn, who has been telling Gio to grab one more swim, to Jack, who she is now desperately trying to recruit for help. And here is the sinister detail that fans have been picking up on for weeks. Brooklyn tells Gio to grab one more swim before he goes. Brooklyn's son is a lifeguard, but the GH writers position Gio at the lake deliberately. He is the witness. He is the one who saves Drew. And if Gio later reports that she pushed Drew into the lake and wanted him to drown, that is a confession Brennan now holds. And the question fans are asking is whether Brennan will use that confession to protect Nina, to control her, or to cut her loose entirely. But Brennan is not the only one with leverage. Jack Brennan, the same man who has been negotiating with Valentine over the black box, is also the person Nina is desperate for help from. And if Jack makes a deal with Valentine and Valentine gets what he wants in exchange for returning the black box to Brennan, then suddenly you have got multiple players holding overlapping leverage over each other. Valentine wants Brennan to have the WSB unfreeze his assets. After that, Valentine is reportedly excited to use those unfrozen assets to buy back Windermere, his ancestral estate. That detail matters because Windermere is not just a building, it is a symbol. It is the seat of power of one of Port Charles' oldest families. And if Valentine takes it back, the balance of influence in the city shifts again. So in just 2 weeks, what you really have is this. Drew has been pulled out of the lake. He is recovering mobility and speech. He will eventually be able to testify. Nina is panicking. Willow is planning to run. Brennan is holding Nina's confession. Jack is negotiating with Valentine. Ezra is flipping on Willow. The PCPD has questions about Sidwell, and somewhere in the middle of all this is Alexis Davis, who, according to spoiler materials, is about to let Willow know that she knows she shot Drew. Alexis is dropping the pretense. The polite dance of pretending she does not know is ending. And when Alexis tells Willow in plain language that she knows the truth, that is the moment Willow's path forward narrows to almost nothing. Let us not skip over the Jocelyn storyline because it lands in a different register but with the same emotional weight. Emma Drake, the daughter of Patrick Drake and Robin Scorpio, is interrogating Jocelyn. She is upset. She has heard that Jocelyn is an agent working in the black WSB suit, operating out of the shadows. And Jocelyn has to explain to Emma the same thing she has already explained to Trina Robinson, that her role in the WSB is more complicated than the average person would understand, that she is not a spy hunting citizens, that she is doing something she genuinely believes is necessary. And the question that haunts every Jocelyn storyline is whether she has crossed a line from which she can return. Because once you put on a black suit and operate inside an agency that holds people hostage, you cannot simply take the suit off and be the daughter your parents raised you to be. Trina is there for the conversation because Trina, in the show's current emotional logic, is the friend who has accepted Jocelyn's reality while Emma is still wrestling with it. That dynamic between the friend who forgives and the friend who interrogates is one of the most realistic portrayals of how real families and friend groups react when one of their own goes into intelligence work. And for Jocelyn, who is now operating inside the same agency that held Jason hostage, the stakes are enormous. If she fails, the identity she has built since leaving Port Charles for parts unknown will collapse on her return. Then on Wednesday and Thursday, the storyline layers deepen further. Alexis is thrown midweek, spoiler language for major emotional disruption. And the candidates are numerous. It could be Jason's return. It could be Willow contacting her about the Sidwell legal issues. Or it could be Drew's recovery becoming real, Drew regaining mobility, regaining speech, regaining the capacity to demand that Scout come back to live with him. Because Alexis is currently the woman sheltering Scout from Drew's control. And if Drew is now physically capable of fighting for custody, Alexis, and spoilers suggest it is with Britt. He has seen the worst of her. He is setting a boundary. And that boundary, whether it leads to confrontation or reconciliation, will shape how Britt moves forward in the weeks ahead. And then we get into Friday, which feels almost like a closing chapter for this first week of spoilers. Liz and Dante are in their softball uniforms, smiling at each other in the park, but they are not on the same team. That detail is rich. It means they are facing each other across the field. It means their flirtation is now competitive, and it means Rick Lansing, Liz's ex, the man with endless reasons to interfere, will absolutely not like what is sparking between them. The softball storyline has been built slowly for months, with subtle looks and quiet conversations, and now it is reaching the moment where it becomes undeniable. Sonny summons Jason to come see him. Jason tells Sonny about big life changes, about prioritizing Danny. This is the moment where Jason essentially tells the mob boss he loves that he is stepping back from the underworld life. That is enormous. Because pulling Jason out of Sonny's world does not just affect Jason. It affects every soldier, every ally, every enemy who has built their strategies around Jason being the muscle of the operation. Sonny has to absorb that. And Sonny, who has known Jason since they were teenagers, will read the decision for what it is. Jason is choosing to stop being who he has been for 40 years. Brooklyn defends Danny. Spoiler language that confirms Danny Morgan is being publicly defended against accusations. And the question fans are asking is whether anyone is suggesting Danny had something to do with Drew winding up in the lake, nearly drowning, since Danny and Drew's animosity is well known. The show is building that possibility carefully. They are not confirming it, but they are letting the accusation hover in the air, which is a classic soap move. Let the audience wonder for days before confirming or denying. Lulu gets huge news from Ethan, and based on the surrounding context, that news is almost certainly that Ethan is leaving town. Anna is gobsmacked, and spoilers say this may be about Drew's accident or something to do with Willow, which gives you a sense of how many high-impact revelations are landing in a single episode. Then we shift to the second week, and the storyline continues to deepen. Fans will see if Jason tells Sonny he is stepping back from the mob. Liz and Dante continue their slow-burn flirtation through softball. The chemistry is undeniable, and Rick is watching. Nathan Dean finishes his run as Ethan, confirming that Ethan's storyline is closing here, with the door left open for a future return. Anna continues to struggle with Peter, who is in her head demanding that Anna target Britt. This is the kind of psychological warfare Port Charles has been doing for decades, and it never stops being uncomfortable to watch. Serena Baldwin gets reacclimated to Port Charles, but she has personal issues that are initially secret, a slow reveal that will likely deepen the Lucy-Serena alliance at Deception. Drew wants to rat out Willow and Nina, but Brennan's leverage may show up in time to stop him. Valentine is excited to use his unfrozen assets to buy back Windermere. Lulu is struggling, but Dante gave her solid advice about how to deal with the Charlotte and Valentine issues. And Molly is working on building her case against Sidwell, with the prospect that Ezra and Willow might both flip on him. Now, if you have followed this far, you have probably noticed something. Almost every character in Port Charles is currently holding leverage over someone. Nina has leverage over Drew. Drew has leverage over Willow. Willow has leverage over Nina and over Alexis. Brennan has leverage over Nina. Jack has leverage over Brennan through the black box. Valentine has leverage over Jack through the black box. Ezra has leverage over Willow through Sidwell. Justine has leverage over Michael through legal maneuvering. Michael has leverage over the Quartermaines through deception. Tracy has leverage through her own cultural authority. Jocelyn has leverage through the WSB. Jason has leverage through his knowledge of the WSB's operations. And Anna has leverage through her own intelligence connections. It is a circular firing squad where everyone is simultaneously the hunter and the hunted. That is what makes these 2 weeks of spoilers feel so special. They are not just moving plot forward, they are pushing multiple storylines toward collision points that have been quietly building for months. And the writers have been remarkably disciplined in not resolving threads prematurely. They are letting the audience live inside the tension, knowing that one well-placed revelation in the right week can change everything. The fan reaction to all of this has been interesting to track. There are fans who believe Willow is going to flee successfully and resurface months later as a changed woman. There are fans who believe Brennan is going to protect Nina but ultimately fall himself. There are fans who believe Ethan leaving Port Charles is going to be tied to the Serena Baldwin return because of family history that has not yet been publicly aired. There are fans who believe Drew's recovery is going to trigger a custody battle for Scout that will tear Alexis apart. And there are fans who believe Jason stepping back from the mob is going to send shockwaves through the Corinthos empire that will take years to fully process. The truth is, we do not know yet which of those theories is right, but that is what makes soap operas work, not the answer, but the advance toward it. What we do know is this: Tracy Quartermaine is about to be hit in 3 different places at once, and the woman who has survived decades of Port Charles chaos is going to have to dig deeper than she has in years. Ethan Lovett is about to leave town, and the reason he is leaving is going to define how fans remember his run for a long time. Jason Morgan is about to make the most personal decision of his adult life. Willow is about to choose between running and facing the truth. Nina is about to discover that panicking is not the same as surviving. Drew is about to regain his voice, literally and figuratively, in a city that has been trying to silence him. Alexis is about to drop the polite pretense that has been protecting Willow for too long, and Serena Baldwin is about to walk back into a power struggle that has been waiting for her since the day she left. What remains to be seen is which of these storylines will deliver the gut punch moment that everyone remembers a year from now. Which confession will land hardest? Which betrayal will hurt most? Which return will feel most earned? But if you have watched this show long enough, you already know the answer to that question. It is never the moment you expect. It is always the moment 3 scenes later when a character you thought was safe walks into a room and says the one thing nobody wanted to hear. And that, more than anything, is why these 2 weeks matter. Because in 2 weeks of General Hospital, almost every storyline on the canvas is heading toward a collision point, and the characters who walk away from that collision are not going to be the same people who walked in. So stay tuned, watch the episodes, form your theories, and keep your eyes on Tracy. Because if the woman who built the Quartermaine empire can be stunned 3 times in 2 weeks, then Port Charles is about to enter a chapter none of us are ready for. I am Anderson. This has been Soap Pulse, and I will see you in the next breakdown.